I know it's only March, but you know what? We have an election coming up in less than 2 months. Aside from the primaries, there's also important things on the ballot that you need to vote for. The things we're talking about today, the $1.7 billion bond for Guilford County Schools and a slight tax increase. To prepare you, to inform you, we have Dr. Whitney Oakley from Guilford County Schools, the Deputy Superintendent, and Reverend Frank Thomas, a pastor and teacher from Mount Zion Baptist Church. What's going to happen is they're going to be taking your questions about the bond referendum and the tax increase. They're here till 5:45. So here's how you get your question to them. You text the question. The number is 336-379-5775. You get your answer in time, and I got to tell you, it's anonymous, so nobody knows that you're asking it. So go ahead and you text your question. All right. So first and foremost, let's just put up the calendar so that folks know when everything is happening. I know sometimes election days kind of catch people by surprise. So the mail-in ballots started to go out a couple of days ago. Early voting starts April 28th. Early voting ends May 14th, and election day for the primary is May the 17th. All right, Frank, let's start with you. First and foremost, let's just talk about what are we voting on?
Well, there'll be two referendums on the ballot. There will be a $1.7 billion bond referendum and a 0.25% or fraction of a penny tax increase on sales tax.
So two different measures that they will be voting on when they go for the primary. And you don't want to miss the primary because then you might miss your chance to be voting on this. All right, so then let's take a look at what that means for the schools. What will the bond money do?
Sure. So the 2022 bond will touch all schools, in that every school in Guilford County will receive safety and technology upgrades, over $363 million of safety and technology upgrades that touch every school in our district, in addition to 34 school projects, including 18 school rebuilds, 13 full renovations, and 3 new construction projects.
Okay, and so that is what this bond means for the county and for schools. All right, let's go over that, that sales tax, that tax increase. Mr. Thomas, let's talk about what it does not affect and what it does affect.
Okay, so it does not affect gas, food or groceries, prescription drugs, and vehicles. And to add to Whitney's point, we've called this the SMART campaign. We want safe, modern, accessible, renovated, and tech-ready schools. That's what the bond covers.
Okay, and that's what the part of the bond and the sales tax would cover. And again, no gas, no prescriptions, no groceries, and no car sales.
That's correct.
Okay, so that is important to know, that it's going to be on the other things that you buy, but not those things. All right, let's talk about the study that was done for Guilford County Schools, Dr. Oakley, about what kind of condition the schools are in and why you guys are asking for this bond money.
Sure. The study was jointly commissioned from the Board of Education and the County Commissioners back in 2019. And what we learned is that more than half of our 126 schools are rated in poor or unsatisfactory condition. The average age of our building is more than 55 years old. I myself started kindergarten here in 1985. The schools were not in great shape then. I have 2 students who are in Guilford County Schools now. Frequently talk about, much like we hear from parents, trash cans in the hallway, catching rain. When it's hot outside, it's hot in the building. When it's cold outside, it's cold in the building, and really just not learning conditions that we know our students deserve. Also, we know that this means a lot for economic development. We know that people want great schools and will continue to move to Guilford County because of great schools. So this whole bond holds lots of promise for those efforts.
Okay, and again, this bond is going to be on that ballot in May, and there are 2 different measures to vote on. One is the bond, and one is that sales tax. We're going to be talking more about this as we come back from break. We want to make sure that you can text us your question, 336-379-5775. We'll be right back.